Alright, so I just received an email a few minutes ago from Team YouTube themselves. Of course, the header of the email was that they're changing the terms of services on YouTube, and of course I thought to myself, great, what are they doing now? And of course it seems like they are, yet again, doing something that seems like it's incredibly stupid, short-sighted, and just morally actually kind of bankrupt for the platform that they're building here. The email mentions a couple different terms of service changes, but we're just going to focus on the middle one, YouTube's Right to Monetize. Now, I think anyone reading this is going to think this is a big deal right away, even if you're not a YouTuber, because if you're watching a lot of YouTube, the last thing you want to hear is you're going to get a ton more ads on the platform and you're just going to get added at 24/7 and you can't escape ads no matter what you do. Definitely something you don't want to hear as someone who uses the platform often, so that's already a bad thing, right? But more than that, it's like just downright deceitful and dishonest compared to other actions they have taken in the past, but we will get to that. So here I decided that maybe they're phrasing it weird in the email, and I decided to go check the actual term of services update itself, and well, it didn't paint any better of a picture. It's saying from the day you get this email, all content on YouTube is in their legal rights to be monetized, whether you want it to be or not, which is something they can technically do. Right? YouTube can do whatever they want. They can wake up tomorrow and just delete PewDiePie's channel. They can do that if they want to. It's within their legal right currently as the law currently stands. Again, I'm putting emphasis on currently because of the fact, obviously, if this was taken to court, there's no guarantee YouTube would actually win. There's a very good argument that YouTube is a public platform for people to host content onto, and YouTube itself shouldn't take drastic measures curating that content unless they want to receive legal backlash. The problem is, no one's really big enough to stand up to YouTube and say, hey, you're doing something kind of immoral and illegal, and because no one can stand up to them besides like the government itself, no one is actually able to stop them. Again, until something like the government gets involved and says, hey, YouTube, you're doing something illegal. But here, this isn't really illegal, and in fact, it's pretty par of the course, I'd have to say, for a lot of different websites. The problem is, YouTube itself, the reason it took away your ability to put ads on small channels is because they said, we cannot trust small channels to have advertisements on them because we're scared that advertisements will pop up on videos that we deem not user-friendly. And thusly, if a video pops up on someone doing an illegal act, that's almost like YouTube promoting them. Obviously, that's not true. But because of the fact corporations can take that footnote and say, hey, our ads are showing up on this content we don't like, we're going to pay you less money, YouTube, or we're pulling our ads out. Give us better deals. It's essentially being used as a threat as to get better prices for their ads when put onto YouTube's platform, which is shady as all hell, but YouTube themselves then took that information and said, we will no longer be putting ads on small channels because we cannot possibly curate the content well enough. But now, they're not just reserving the rights to put ads onto small channels, they're right now saying from now on, this may happen, and it very well is probably already happening. This is a problem for multiple reasons. One, you don't want an ad to pop up every time you click on a video. That's just not something anyone wants. Moreover, it's not like they're making a ton of money off of these videos. It's like, it's a massive drop in the bucket compared to like the actual money they're making off the platform itself. Doing this only serves to hurt smaller channels. And yeah, there's a bunch of arguments to be made about like the split between AdSense going to YouTube and going to the YouTuber. Like obviously, the split should go more towards the YouTuber. If a YouTuber is making content, why are they only getting a small split of the AdSense made off the video? That doesn't seem very fair or right, but because it's YouTube's platform, they can set the AdSense to whatever they want. And yes, if they made it more fair, they'd lose a little bit of money, but they'd have far more creators be able to do YouTube full time because of the fact they'd be paid more livable wages. However, here, the creators aren't getting anything. Their labor is literally not being paid. Ads are showing up on the thing they are making, and they're not making money from it. This is actual, legitimate, unpaid labor, and it's in YouTube's right to do this. In exchange for offering up a platform for you to host videos on that can make your videos more popular because a lot of people watch YouTube, in exchange for that, we're going to put ads on your videos, and we're going to take all that money for ourselves until we deem you good enough to actually get ads on your videos. Which again, the marker to actually get to that point cuts out millions. Tens of millions of channels do not hit that marker and consistently upload content. It's not a small marker. You're in like the top 3 million channels easily. You might have to be near the top 2 million channels to actually get your channel monetized. Which, when there are hundreds of millions of YouTube users, is kind of a big deal to get to, right? Saying you're in the top 2% of the entire platform to actually get monetized, that's a big goal to get towards. That's a huge deal. But you know what hurts smaller channels? People having to sit through ads to watch their videos. People having to click off of ads, or click skip, or click off of the pop-ups they get because of the fact they got an ad on a smaller channel. That's one of the good things about certain channels, is the fact they have the right to not put ads on their content. That's literally built into how a lot of people make money off of YouTube. They have it part of their crowdfunding and ways they make money off the platform that they will not enable ads on their YouTube channel. That is part of how people make money on YouTube, is by selling that you will get a premium experience without having to watch ads. But now that right is being taken away from certain types of YouTubers, potentially from all types of YouTubers, because already you didn't get to control when ads appeared on your videos a lot of the time, and there's certain types of channels that literally don't have any control over it. So taking it even further away to 99.9% of YouTubers do not have a chance and do not have any control over whether or not ads appear on their video, that doesn't seem very fair or right, and is in direct confrontation with the reason they stated why they were not giving small channels ads anymore. So channels went from being able to make a small amount of money that could have helped in the long run with upgrading gear and improving their channel, to not making any money, to still having the ads on their channel. Like, what type of bunk deal is that? Now, it's not all doom and gloom in this exact update right here. Right under the monetization, it talks about how people making extra money off of YouTube will be considered treated as royalties, which is, I think, a lot better than what it was before. Before, if you got super chats, YouTube could just deny paying you the super chats. And a lot of channels had this happen to them, where YouTube would come in and say, no, we will not give you the money from the super chat. We've deemed it to not be appropriate. So a lot of streamers just wouldn't make any money off of certain super chats and might lose half of their income from super chats simply because of YouTube coming down and saying, hey, we didn't like this comment the super chatter made. So the fact that now it's being treated as a royalty, it seems like it'd be harder for them to do that anymore, but I'm not exactly going to put it past them. They could just say, we won't pay you your royalties because of whatever, we're YouTube, you can't stop us. And so that is still a possibility. It just seems less like a possibility and more like if this was taken to court, it would fall more into the favor of the YouTuber because of the fact they're not being paid what they are rightfully owed. Because legally speaking, you are owed your royalties. In all legal regards, royalties are considered to be yours as soon as they are acquired. So if YouTube doesn't pay out royalties, that is a major problem that they could end up getting in trouble in court for. Again, if anyone were to ever step up and actually challenge YouTube on things they're doing that might not actually have any legal substance behind them. Otherwise known as being a bunch of smooth brains that continuously make terrible decisions about their platform. I'm just kind of making this video to point this information out. It seems like an actual potentially big deal, but in the avalanche of terrible things that continuously happen on this platform, honestly, will this make even that big of a deal at the end of the day? I'm not sure. Tomorrow they could do something way stupider than this and we'll forget this ever happened. And that honestly kind of seems like YouTube's game plan is to just continuously one-up itself in stupidity and continuously do bad things on a consistent basis as to forget the last previous bad thing they did. And if that's their plan, they're doing a bang-up job of it, I have to say.